Hello everybody, Saigan here. Welcome to the Phantasy Star Online Let's Play. This is just going to be a short series. I felt like playing some Phantasy Star Online today. It is probably my favorite game of all time. I do actually prefer a lot of the Phantasy Star titles over Dragon Quest titles, but I think overall as a series, Dragon Quest has fared much, much better. Phantasy Star Online was really the last great Phantasy Star game, and it's been kind of bumpy since then. There have been some good ones, but this was really the last amazing one. A little bit of information about the game. It started development back in the days of the Dreamcast as Phantasy Star 5. It then evolved into being its own thing, Phantasy Star Online. It was the first truly online RPG for consoles. Gonna let the opening play here. I'm going to be playing the GameCube version of Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2 Plus. This is the kind of second version that they did of the game. The original version of the game was just Episode 1 on the Dreamcast, and then later on they released version 2.0 for the Dreamcast, which introduced a monthly fee, but also much better security and protection against hacking, which ran rampant on the Dreamcast because it was all client-side. It wasn't server-side like most modern online RPGs, so the hacking was a huge problem. Well, in order to combat the hacking, they released version 2, which also added Ultimate Mode, as well as a paid subscription, but also better protection against the hacking. Fast forward a few years from that, in the days of the GameCube and the Xbox, and Episodes 1 and 2, Episode 2 being brand new, doubled the size of the game, and that was released for the GameCube and the Xbox. And then the GameCube also got a second edition, which is PSO Plus, which added a couple of offline quests that you could do. I am going to be playing Ultimate Mode off of my main character. This is actually the first character of mine to carry the name Saigan, and it's the name that I've carried ever since then. Started way, way, way back, many years ago. And basically the story of the game is the planet of Coral is dying. They sent out probes, they found an appropriate planet to colonize, and they sent out two ships, Pioneer 1 and Pioneer 2. Pioneer 1 was to get the planet ready for the main wave of refugees, but as Pioneer 2 reached Planet Regol, there was a blast of energy, and all of the colonists from Pioneer 1 disappeared. Kind of a terrible thing to happen when you've got a massive wave of colonists hoping to land, and all of a sudden, shit goes south. So, Red Ring Rico, the daughter of the principal of Pioneer 2, goes down to the planet to investigate, and she goes missing as well. Oh, look at that. Level 190. I thought I made 192. Alright, whatever. So, I'm playing a male human force, shortened as Fomar. Pinkel class, just short of 1,000 hours on the game. I will be doing Episode 1. If you guys like it, I'll do Episode 2. This is Ultimate Mode. The difference between Ultimate Mode and the rest of the game is that you had to finish the game on normal, hard, and very hard to access Ultimate Mode. Online, you had to have a minimum level of 80 in addition. Show you what I have equipped. Now, the M&A60 Vice, it's a pair of machine guns that I use, that any character can use. They're actually very, very common. However, when I found them, you'll notice that the stats on this thing are absurd. It does 90% increased damage against machine-type enemies, 90% increased damage against dark-type enemies, and it has a 70% increased chance to hit. On Ultimate Mode, getting something with hit percent of 50 is already a huge, huge step. To get something with a hit percent of 70 is almost unheard of. So despite the fact that these are about the most common of the high-end machine guns that you can find, I still use them because they are amazing. For my armor, I'm using the Aura Field. I think it's the highest level armor, requires 152. My main reason for using it is it's got really high defenses, and this one also has 4 slots. So it's got top defense for fire, ice, and thunder, as well as pretty good defense against light and dark. Dark defense being incredibly important on Ultimate Mode because almost everything in the game has some way to kill you in one hit. And that becomes more and more common as you progress through the game on Ultimate. And the final areas just being absurd with one-shot kills. 2 God Mines, which increase my mind energy. I am a force, so that helps with my spell casting. Cure Confuse makes me completely immune to the Cure condition, and Cure Shock makes me completely immune to the Cure Shock condition. My attribute wall, my shield, not actually a very high level shield. You only need to be level 41 to use it. I'm level 191 with the cap being 200. Whoops. There are much stronger outright shields in the game, but this one, like the Aura Field, has amazing defenses against the different elements. Again, 30 to fire, ice, and thunder, and then 25 to dark and lightning. And then for my mag, my lovely Angel Wing, which doesn't do much for my defense, absolutely nothing for my mind, which I don't really need, having the 2 God Mines equipped, but it gives me 130 on power, and then it's got 60 on dex. Now, what the mags are, if you're not familiar with the game, is they're a little robot that hang out with you, and they can learn all sorts of different special abilities. So we're just going to do the forest today. I don't think I actually need to pick up any gear. Forest is insanely easy, and short of running into a Hildator, which is a very rare enemy, nothing down here can kill me in one hit. It's mostly just going to be management of different enemies. Oh god, why do I have grants? Okay, so this game is fantastic for many reasons. Oops, that is on. That is not Gizon. I have to get my legs back. It has been a long time since I played. So I've got these boss machine guns. Now, if you're familiar at all with Diablo, this is actually kind of similar. It's a huge loot fest once you get your levels up. I don't think I'm going to actually find anything in the forest that I need. Give myself some buffs, which this character type is actually most well known for. That's right, I am a mage with machine guns. Fear me. I don't think these guys even have a possibility of hurting me. So yeah, I had time to record something, but not very much time. Only like 30 minutes, so I didn't want to jump into doing another episode of Dragon Warrior Classic or Dragon Warrior 10. Zen and I got some more Secret of Mana recorded last night. That should be up now on YouTube. Rappies! These guys are awesome. They're these little birds. They're actually invincible, and they've been around in the series since Phantasy Star 3. And they're prone to running away. And here, you see that their body hasn't disappeared yet, unlike other enemies from Phantasy Star Online. And they're actually just playing possum. And the only way that you can get items off of them is they'll get up to run away, and then you need to smack them while they're running. So I actually have Where's Gifoy? This fire spell will stick around for a while and hit anybody who actually goes to stand up. I prefer the GameCube edition and the Xbox edition over the original Dreamcast versions, not just because of the added content, but also the additional controls. You can use the second analog stick on the GameCube and the Xbox to surf your menu while you're running around. And there's a quick menu that was added to the game after the original version. So it makes running around and managing, like, you know, using a healing potion in the middle of a boss fight much easier. I probably don't even need to be debuffing these guys. Now, unfortunately, Phantasy Star Online for the GameCube has actually become slightly uncommon to find, especially if you want to find Plus Edition, which is the edition that I recommend. However, there was a PC version that got put out near the end of PSO's lifetime called Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst, and that is no longer officially supported by Sega, but there are private servers that people have put up along with clients of the game. So, and those actually still have quite a few people playing on them. And those private servers even support the GameCube and Dreamcast editions of the game. So you can still hook up your old machines, your old characters, and play online. Oop, looking the wrong way. Now, as far as the targeting system and gameplay is concerned, it has become dated by today's standards. Despite that, the game still continues to be amazing. It's got great music. The amount of items in this game are just absurd. Oh, I hate these things. So these nests will spit out wasps until you kill the nest off. I'm just gonna use Gizond, which is essentially a chain lightning spell. So just nuke them all at once. Wait for the other enemies to spawn. That's the worst part about the nests. It takes a while for the body to disappear, so it doesn't pick up the next spawn of enemies. This game was hugely popular when it first came out. I think it was EGM. Every time a new Phantasy Star Online iteration came out, it wound up getting Game of the Month. The joke made when Phantasy Star Universe, which was supposed to be the follow-up to the Phantasy Star Online series, when that came out, and like a month later they did the review, they're like, well, it's not terrible, but we know that it has failed to be the next Phantasy Star Online because everybody is still on good terms with their spouses. And I can see that. When the GameCube edition, the one that I'm playing now, when this one came out, I actually took time off of work, and it was really my first time that, you know, I had vacation time, and I was going to use it for a game release that I knew I was going to want to play, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to focus at work. Like, I got all my snacks ready, and, oh, I played it so much. I don't need to fight you guys. The reason I haven't restored my my TP yet, there's no magic coins in this game. It's not magic, it's techniques. Magic is in the Phantasy Star series, but it's much, much older and much more powerful than techniques. And it's actually a major part of the story in like Phantasy Stars 2 and 4. Oh, he just got melted. I can sell those. Hill Delts? Big bear monkeys? Yay? Nay? Oh, they're gonna pop up as soon as I push this button. Or I can get Bartles. Bartles are cool. It was really exciting the first time getting into Ultimate because almost all of the enemies get changed. Oop, I missed. I don't know why I picked that up. I didn't need it. Really like to find a healing ring to get my TP back up. That's what I was saying earlier before I kind of went into my explanation of magic versus techniques. You can see up in my bar, to the left of my health bar, there's number 25 with a circle around a red dot. Those are photon points. Those are actually related to the mag. As mags level up and evolve, you feed them different items that you aren't using. They're kind of like a virtual pet, I guess. But they share their stats with you, so they're hugely helpful, and I'll explain those later. They can learn different abilities called photon blasts, which are... oh, how do I want to explain them? Final Fantasy VII. Let's use Final Fantasy VII. Photon blasts are kind of like a limit break for the mag. It gives you a very, very powerful attack to use. And each of the mags have varied abilities in how they gain their photon points. Oh, I forgot my aura field also drains my TP. It's not a big deal. I'm really efficient with my TP, and I have quite a bit of it. Even though this is arguably the worst class in the game. Not my first character on this. My first character was a female hunter android, which is pretty melee. Guess I'm gonna have to use a... oh, there we go. That's enough. But she got corrupted. Playing online one night, there was a hacker who hit the lobby with something that actually corrupts your memory card, and it was one of the dark sides of PSO was that could happen. And there were a couple of characters that you just learned to watch out for. It would give you the black screen of death, and it would just sometimes it could corrupt your memory card. It's terrible. But yeah, I lost my first character to that, and she only... I think she made it up to like level 120. Which... once you're familiar with the game, which I was by that point, it doesn't actually take very long to get back up into the hundreds and get into Ultimate. In fact, getting into Ultimate once you're familiar with the game is just a race. Oh, there goes Shift and D-Band. D-Band raises your defense and agility. Defense determines how much damage you take. Agility determines whether or not you're able to block something. And Shift A raises your attack and accuracy. The explanation on those two should be fairly obvious. I'm really gonna have to use another die for him. Where is a healing ring? I haven't played in a while, so I can't recall where it would be. The maps are randomized to a degree based on your character name and section ID. Your character name determines your section ID. Mine being Pinkle, which is a terrible section ID, because all it really does is it increases my chances of finding wands, which are crap most of the time. Like, there's a couple that are okay, but not really any for this character. Hildelt! Spawn, spawn, spawn. There you are. I love these guys. They hit like a freaking freight train when you first get an ultimate, though. Like that punch that he, hit me with, I kind of just ignored. That could one-shot most characters when they first got into ultimate. And the Hildebears, the normal through very hard variation of them, those still hit pretty hard too. Ow, did I take damage? I took damage. He did 5 damage to me. Phantasy Star Online 2 is actually out in Japan now. We are going to be getting a US release, I think spring 2013, and it looks pretty good. I played a tiny bit of the beta. Unfortunately, the beta came out at about the same time that... I don't need trap vision. The beta came out at about the same time as... Where am I going? I got sitting around there. It came out the same time as Dragon Quest X. So it was just horrible, horrible timing. Star Atomizer? Please? Damn it. Did you poison me? I got poisoned. You can still get hit with status effects, even if you block the attack as a whole. Some of those status effects and special attacks being the entire reason that Ultimate continues to remain challenging, regardless of what your stats are. By the ending of Episode 2, there's so many things that can one-shot you. They don't care about your defense. There's some things that don't even... usually what you die to is a high-level Majid, which is this instant death ball. And I've got enough dark resistance that even if I miss something casting Majid, and I'm not able to dodge it in time, it really only works maybe a quarter of the time. So sometimes I get lucky and it just goes right through me and I'm fine. But by the end of Episode 2, there's so many creatures that don't even use Majid. They just have attacks that do flat damage of, like, 10 million or something ridiculous that nobody can survive it. And they'll put multiple of these creatures into each room. Alright, so best part about Phantasy Star Online. When you're not, hunting for awesome loot and gear, which I'm essentially done with. My gear is never going to get better than this unless I find an M&A6 device with higher hit percents. The bosses in this game are amazing, and unfortunately this Ice Dragon isn't going to seem near as badass as he actually is, because I'm just going to wipe the floor with him. But I assure you, the first time I got to this guy, oh, he rocked my world. It took us like a week to figure out how to beat him. the GameCube and Xbox editions, you could carry your characters around on memory card and play split screen with friends and keep, everything that you found. It was split screen, online, RPG, done right. Alright, so I'm going to debuff him. Nope. Fell on me, which turns me to ice. Head is the weak point of the dragons. Oh, that's bad timing. I should still be able to beat him. He's gonna roar and go into phase 2, which doesn't mean much. Because I'm creating a freaking lightning storm. Stupid ice. And he's dead. You could totally take damage from bosses falling on you, too. My buddy Ray died from the dragon falling on him. Like, the first time that he killed it in multiplayer with us, the dragon fell on him, and he died. He took, like, a critical hit from it. It was hilarious. Still talk about it to this day. Always an absurd amount of loot after the bosses. Doesn't look like I found anything rare. Magic in this game, or the techniques, you learned it from discs that had spells of various levels in them. So that there is Zalur, level 18. It's the level 18 debuff for defenses of enemies. Makes them easier to hit and makes them take more damage. And I still have 786,000 points to level. Once you hit about 180 in this game, the amount of experience points required to level are absurd. Which makes sense, because once you hit 180, most of your stats are going to be maxed out anyways. I am playing, again, one of the worst classes in the game, though, so only my attack and attack accuracy are capped, and that's only due to the gear that I'm wearing. Anyhow, that was the Forest, Ultimate Mode Forest for Phantasy Star Online Episode 1. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm your host, Saigan. If you like these, I'll probably wind up doing more of them. It's not a major thing on my plate, but yeah, there we go. Till next time then. What else do I have? Thank you. That's right, I was also playing on the Japanese servers, so I had Japanese written in. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next time.